dance in musical theater performance at Emerson College. So I was studying dance and acting and music. And I think something in me started to feel that being a musical theater performer wasn't really what I was meant to do.
The why was because she had seen some of the work of Pina Bausch and was inspired by that, and she wanted to do a show based on Pina's.
I fell in love with how beautiful and sad and funny and touching it was, and I thought that I want to make work like that. I want to create worlds on stage that honor the incredible beauty of humanity like she does.
Process. And the sort of how was that we were in a musical theater class together, so we knew each other a little bit. And then I choreographed for a student film that she was dancing in. And we liked each other, and she liked, I guess, the way that I choreographed and worked with people. So she asked me if I would be interested in doing the show with her, and that's sort of how Black Feathers was born, which was the first new MoveShop.
And we loved doing it, so the following year, working with many of the same performers, we created our second work and officially became a company.
Our first production, entitled Black Feathers, premiered in 2005. It is inspired by the ongoing struggle between the sexes, the aesthetic of the 1950s, and the choreographer Pina Bausch. It is the first in a series of 4 pieces inspired by the classical elements, this one being air.
Dust to Dust premiered in 2006 and is the second in the Elements series inspired by Earth. It's set in the Great Depression of the 1930s, and Dust to Dust discusses the reality of a crumbling American dream, both in the past and the present. It shines a light on income inequality and the healthcare system in America, and looks at how these factors shape an individual's understanding of life and their own hope for the future.
The whimsical and touching Moontides is the third in the Elements series, inspired by water. Our narrators, the professor and title card girl, take us through the story of the woman of Drummondie, who escapes her mundane life in rural Ohio by falling into a watery dream. She rediscovers a lost love who is struggling with addiction. Produced in 2008, Moontides was the first Movement Workshop group piece to incorporate a narrative storyline and was the first to tour.
First produced in 2009, Wanderlust is the 4th production in the Element series, inspired by fire. It's a woman's raw battle to keep the love of her life while dealing with lustful ambitions and the temptation of excellence, all the while being pulled, watched, and taunted by her godly creator.
Snow Globe, our first short work, premiered in the spring of 2012. The piece explored the relationship between 4 siblings in the wake of the loss of their father, and was the first piece to feature a complete set list of music from our resident composer, Colin Summers.
Produced in 2013, La Scene Doll is an imagined creation myth narrated by Tennessee Williams with music help from the Grammy-nominated Cedric Watson, the Bijou Creole. The production was funded in part by Brooklyn Arts Council, South Arts, in association with the National Endowment for the Arts, and toured throughout the southern United States.
Both Bitter and Sweet flow from the same fountain is the second short work by the Movement Workshop group and premiered in 2013. It is a rolling human landscape that explores the unbearable ease at which love and sexual attraction can naturally transition into psychological violence and judgment.
Movement Workshop Group has been offering dance and acting classes in New York City since 2009 in a variety of formats, from weekend workshops to summer intensive to semester-long training programs. Our main focus has always been to create versatile and well-rounded performers by providing the best dance and acting training available in many styles and disciplines, and by utilizing our own unique holistic approach to movement training. Our classes train performers to not only communicate through technical movement proficiency, but also strengthen their sense of intention.
We had a really life-changing experience, I think. The students there were so hungry for knowledge and really thrived in such an intense environment.
And I thought another really interesting thing was that we had our classes translated, which was new and interesting. And particularly for my class, because I'm teaching improvisation and composition, I'm sort of giving really specific words to the students. And so if the word is even slightly mistranslated, they would do funny things, and I would think, I'm pretty certain that that was not correctly translated. But I think Steph had a different experience because hers was so much.
Yeah, I mean, my classes were very movement-based, and that's kind of a universal language. And so I wouldn't even have to speak a lot for them to understand. I could show on bodies, and they kind of picked it up very quickly. Another thing that we got to experience were amazing contemporary choreographers from all over the world who made lifelong connections with other artists from Denmark, Sweden, Germany, and Russia.
And we also worked with some really amazing Russian students, and were able to offer them scholarships to come study with us the following summer. In 2012, arts presenters funded me to travel to the International Tanzmesse, which is the largest contemporary dance conference in the world. It happens every 2 years, and that year I was a representative with the American Corner, which consisted of several other American choreographers and U.S. arts administrators from different cities around the U.S. And I'm honored to say that Arts Presenters has decided to send me once again to represent the U.S. at the Tanzmesse in 2014.
The Movement Research Group.
The Move and Dance Theater Collective.
You guys only do workshops,
Movement Research Group.
right? Just workshops?
Your workshop thingy.
Workshop Dance Movement.
The Research Group for Movement and Theater Development.
MGW.
Workshop, theater workshop, group, dance theater workshop, group theater.
Okay.
After the tour of Racine d'Or, we started talking about bigger aspirations for the future of the company. We came back from that tour with a renewed artistic courage to make exactly the kind of work that we want to make, and a renewed dedication to creating live performances that we think are awesome.
And we fell in love with outreach activities on tour. So our new vision is really about connecting with the communities and making sure we have a positive contribution when they are kind enough to invite us there.
And I'm the Artistic Director of the MoveShop. After 9 years as the Movement Workshop Group, our company has changed its name and is heading in a new direction with our newest work. We are currently in development of a new work inspired by The Great Gatsby. This will be our 6th full evening work since the company began in 2005. We're exploring why The Great Gatsby is an American classic. What about the novel touches us on deep emotional levels, and why? The work will be a tapestry that both presents The Great Gatsby through movement while offering a glimpse into the psychological parallels the novel has of the performers performing in the work. Last month we began rehearsing the work in the Catskill Mountains at a retreat at the Mount Trumper Arts Center. This summer we will embark on fleshing out our preliminary